I'm just going to shift to CIRS, mold illness now. So this is called chronic inflammatory response syndrome, otherwise known as mold illness or biotoxin illness. It used to be known as sick building syndrome. And this is a hugely inflammatory condition. And this is a very complicated diagram, so don't get too kind of caught up in trying to read it. That's not the point for this slide anyway. What I really wanted to get across is that over here with the blue arrows, this is the inhalation of biotoxins. Okay, so and it's showing you different pathways. So basically, if you go down the pathway down here, this is when someone doesn't have one of the genes that makes it difficult to detox. What will happen is they just detox the mold toxins, right? The mycotoxins. They just go through the liver, they get detoxed appropriately. But what happens if you do have one of these HLA susceptible genes that has been shown to make it difficult for people to detox these mycotoxins, is you start getting this really complicated cascade of inflammatory events that happen. So it kind of starts up here, you have the nerves affected, the surface receptors affected, the dendritic cells affected, and then you just have this flow-on effect that, again, if left unchecked, which it often is because people are really unaware that it's mold that's causing this, and you just, you have huge effects on hormones like MSH, VIP, MSH, on the capillaries, which really affects your ability to exercise. You have inflammation-related symptoms here. You can sometimes get a resistant staph infection in the nasal passage that's really difficult to get rid of, changes in cortisol, gut problems, pain, sleep disturbances. So it's a really kind of complicated progression and can be quite debilitating if left unchecked, as I said. But all really based in inflammation around, the inhalation of these mycotoxins and bacteria and whatever else is in a water-damaged building. So in terms of symptoms to look out for, this is a list from Dr. Shoemaker. Again, he also had the biotoxin pathway diagram from the previous slide. So he's done a lot of research, he did a lot of research previously around this condition and the symptoms and the treatments. Now, this is, again, not an exhaustive list, but these are the most common symptoms that he found, and he's put them into 13 clusters. You can see the different colours. And the idea is that it should be relatively easy to figure out the likelihood that you are suffering from mold illness by looking at these symptom clusters. So if you're an adult, it's a little bit different for kids, but for adults, if you have at least one symptom from 8 or more of the 13 clusters, then the research shows that you are 95% likely to be suffering from mold illness, or from CIRS at least. So if this sounds like something that might be affecting you or a family member, or something that you're interested in pursuing, I do have a symptom cluster analysis form that I have designed really just as a free resource for people to be able to get an idea of whether this is a path they want to go down. So you can use this link here after the talk if you want to, and fill that out, and you'll get a response about the likelihood of CIRS for you, depending, based on the symptoms that you flag.